DCI, Drum Corps International, the pinnacle of the marching arts and the focal point of this YouTube channel. I've been in love with this activity ever since watching Cadets 2005 The Zone. I then went on to march in 08, 09, and 10 and have been a fan ever since. However, there are some occasional times where I disagree with some elements of the activity, such as the Met Runners, which I made a video about a couple years ago. But there was something else that happened pretty recently that I kinda hated a lot. Due to extreme heat on Friday, July 5th, the Mid-Cal Champion Showcase in Clovis, California was cancelled, sort of. BD Performing Arts posted on July 2nd that they will be canceling only the Sound Sport and Open Class Corps performances, but still letting the World Class Corps perform at the show. So yeah, they kicked out these 6 groups for not being world class. Yeah, I hate that they did this, because, you know, if the show is too unsafe, then they should just cancel the whole thing. And instead of that, they took this kind of half-assed measure and still let the world class, you know, the bigger and better corps perform, and not the Open Class or Sound Sport corps. It's like the older kids not letting the younger kids use the playground equipment. It just seems kind of messed up to me. And on top of that, this decision, it really didn't make any sense in terms of the safety of the performers and the spectators. So here's the weather history of that day in Clovis, California, and the max temperature is 108 degrees, which is brutally hot. When I marched DCI, I don't think it ever got that hot, and I guess we can thank global warming for that, probably. There were definitely some days where it reached 100 degrees and a little bit beyond that, and I can tell you from experience that it really sucks marching when it's that hot out, but I mean, I never really felt unsafe because of that weather, and I guess that's just because we're conditioned to it. You know, we're outside rehearsing all the time in that weather, and I think the main concern is just for the spectators coming out to these events, because most of them are not conditioned to that. You know, you got like grandma and grandpa coming out to watch a drum corps show, and that 108 degree weather, that's gonna be problematic. So by kicking out the Open Class and the Sound Sport corps, that means that the show is actually going to start later, which means it'll be a little bit cooler outside. But that brings up the question, like, where do we draw the line for what is too hot to be safe at a drum corps show? So here's the adjusted lineup. Gates open at 7:30. SCV is the first corps on at 8:35. If we were doing the original schedule, this probably would have started around 5 o'clock, which it is going to be about, 107 degrees at that time, which kind of sucks. However, for the new gate time at 7:30, that is right around here. That's like 104 degrees, which still really sucks. SCV at 8:35, it is getting a little cooler, around like 101 right there. However, the drum corps, they'll usually roll into the show site like 2 hours before their performance time to warm up in the lot and walk into the stadium. So that puts SCV arriving at like 6:30, which is like right at this peak of the temperature. We're at like 107, 106. My point is that the weather, it really wasn't that much better when the World Class was on as to when the Open Class was supposed to go on. And I mean, yeah, the audience, you know, going in when it was 104 degrees, that is slightly better than being in there when it's 108 degrees, but are we really sure that it's that much safer? You know, safe enough to still host the event? According to the National Weather Service, when the temperature is expected to be 100 degrees or higher for at least 2 days, if you don't take any precautions, you may become seriously ill or even die. Whoa. There have been a few other DCI shows this year that canceled for the excessive temperatures, but on the other hand, there have been other shows that didn't cancel with the excessive temperatures. And personally, I'm kind of a fan of the proceed at your own risk mindset, as in still run the show no matter what the temperature is, but have the individual corps and the audience just decide on their own if they think it's too hot and unsafe, and then they don't come if they don't think so. I'm just saying, I would still go to a DCI show even if it was 110 degrees out. I would definitely bring my gallon jug with me though. Hydrate or dihydrate. But this canceling of just half of the show, only the Open Class groups, that just seems like a way to, you know, act like you're caring about the safety of everyone, but you're still able to put on a show and make some money off of it. To me, it just seems like kind of scummy, in my humble opinion. But let me know what you guys think about this. Compose a comment below and let me know if I am overreacting or not. And you can also check out this video right here to see my opinion on Met Runners, and have a good morning.